boy DJ Wolf here again, as usual, on crisp Thursday morning. Anyway, got something on my mind here. You know, I was reading an article. Actually, I saw a news clip about the retrial of Bill Cosby and his accusers. And you know, the original trial was dropped a while back because they didn't have enough evidence. Something to do with about that, or somebody told me it was a hung jury. I don't remember hearing it being a hung jury. I heard that was dropped. Anyway, there's going to be a retrial. I have one question to say and one question only. Considering these women all accuse Cosby of drugging them, and there's been no circumstantial evidence to prove likewise. No evidence at all. Nothing to concrete convict him of anything, as far as I'm concerned. Now, to retry somebody who has not been convicted, as far as I'm concerned, is complete bullshit. You know, they're trying to try him again for the same trial, and I know some white people think some kind of way, some black people do too. I don't give a fuck. It's my goddamn opinion. I'm not saying that Bill Cosby is innocent of anything. Bill Cosby did cheat on his wife. He did have another kid out of wedlock. That's a known fact. All right. Another fact, Bill Cosby's wife has been solid as fuck. You know, she's more solid than the Charlie Chaplin movie. Well, anyway, nevertheless, if you don't know who Charlie Chaplin was, look it up. Anyway, the thing is that I noticed a trend here. Even the case with Stephon Clark, man. Brothers are being fucked with, no matter what. No matter what they were known for or not known for. Okay? They said Bill Cosby was known for womanizing. He kind of was. Now, whether he actually did what they claim he did was another whole story. All right, Stephon Clark. You know, I think he did have some issues. His brother kind of hinted to that in a couple of the news reports that I saw. But there was no reason to shoot that brother multiple times like they did. He was unarmed. Okay? Regardless of what he had done, he wasn't doing anything that night when they shot him 20 times. Or however many times he was shot. But it was wrong. Nevertheless. You know, people want to justify doing wrong no matter what. You know, they're going to be judge and jury, try to be judge and jury no matter what. And I think that's complete BS. You know, and that's a problem. We're us as African American men, we are prejudged for every fucking thing. Even by our own people. Even by our own women. I've seen it happen. You know, you get around and work in one of these offices with some black women, with a couple of black women and a bunch of white people. Let's put it like that. And, you know, you'll get judged for every little nook and cranny you do. You know. And, of course, a couple of white people will want to have a thing or two to say tongue-in-cheek, and you'll catch them. You know. And like I said before, black men in this country, no matter what, we are the most disrespected race of all the male races. We are. We still are. No matter what we do, no matter what background you come from. That's been a proven fact. A proven fact. Trayvon Martin, who I'll never stop talking about, was, you know, of course, in the eyes of white people, because he smoked weed, that made him a thug. And because he a thug, that made it okay for George Zimmerman to shoot him in his chest. And considering the young man was a kid, that was okay. He could walk free. And you think I'm gonna forget about that shit? Fuck y'all. I ain't forgetting about that. I'm sorry. You know, I'm still upset about that. This white guy got to walk around scot-free for murdering a 17-year-old kid. Okay? And he's done other stuff since, and he's still walking around free. I'm sorry. I'll never agree with that narrative. The other thing that bothers me is that all these black families who talk about they want justice always settle out of court. The only justice for them is butter biscuits. The only justice for them is dollars. You know, you ain't really hurting these municipalities. They don't care. You know, they'll find other ways of getting that money back, and they will get it back. You know. Tamir Wright's mother got paid. Mike Brown's mother got paid. Family Eric Gardner, I think got paid, but there was some other issues going on with that too. But that's the thing, man. You know, and the family of Stephon Clark are eventually gonna get paid. You know, look at the brother. That dude was just all over the place, man. And now this didn't come from me, although I kind of wondered about it. There was a guy on YouTube on on a program that I watch, one of the channels, and the guy made a comment and said, "You know, is it me or the Stephon Clark's brother acting kind of homosexual?" Now I didn't say that, but the guy on the YouTube did make the comment. But then when he said that, I kind of wondered about that myself. You know, but I won't even go there. You know, because I don't know him like that, to tell you the truth. Although I kind of wondered myself, but nevertheless, he do act pretty extra though. I'll say that he acts very extra. That much I do know. We all know he does. You've seen the videos of him running around City Hall and all that. Yeah, he acts very extra. It's like he, you know. Well, I won't even go in. I already said what I had to say about that. I'm done talking about it. But, you know, we just settle for less, man. We talk about justice, but we'll settle for butter biscuits instead. You know, a nice big pacifier check for $18 million because of your pain and suffering. You know. That means somehow or another means more than justice, you know. And to me, it don't mean anything. They're just pacifying you, and you don't build. At least if you are going to take the money, and I said before, I don't condone any of it. But if you're going to take the money, build on it, so you have a reason to create jobs, create some kind of building. Economic development where it will grow. You know, putting people in through college and stuff like that. You know, build on it. That's all I'm saying. Build. You know, because otherwise, you getting that money ain't gonna do you a bit of good. It won't. I'm sorry, it won't. Use it to your advantage. Use it to our, to advantage for advancement, not for bullshit. I'm sorry. That's what you should do it for. Because otherwise, you're wasting money. You're wasting time. You're wasting resources as far as I'm concerned because of that. Otherwise, you're supposed to be fighting justice. Well, where are the people who actually fight justice at? It ain't us. We're waiting for somebody else to do it. We're always waiting for somebody else. You know, that's part of the problem. We're waiting for somebody else to come out and say, hey, we want to bring real justice out here. We want convictions, but you ain't wanting to fight for it in terms of in the courts. You're waiting for somebody else to do that. And lies the problem. And to me, it's like a cycle of bullshit. Is what I call it. The cycle of bullshit. The cycle of BS. We talk a good game about, we want justice, but you sell for the butter biscuits. That's not real justice to me. Never will be. And I just can't go along with that narrative. It's a bullshit narrative to me. It's a complete bullshit narrative. As in, it's a totally complete bullshit narrative. But it ain't right. I keep saying, it's not right. All it is us, being used and abused and played and bamboozled like we always are. Never building. Just making excuses for some of the stuff that we do and ain't doing. One of the other things that I talked about, and I talked about to some length, I talked about in a previous podcast about the black church, man. The black church today, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sorry, I said it before, I'll say it again, it's ineffective in a lot of ways. Our only real power structure is in the black church. And this is what I'm going to say. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Our only real power structure is in the black church because you have a hierarchy, okay? And there are people in the black church who act like that towards other members. I had that experience recently, and I noticed that if you ain't of a specific hierarchy in the church, they will do that. And it's like, wow, really? Really? You ever watch the show Greenleaf? That's actually becoming one of my favorite shows. That show exposes a lot of the hypocrisy and the hierarchy of the black church. Very much so. And I'm sure there's a Sister Greenleaf in every church. I'm sure there's one. I'm sure of that. And that's what that reminds me of. It's a power structure in the black church. I know but they got it in the white church. Motherfucker, I ain't give a fuck about the white church. I don't know about the white church. I don't go to white churches. I go to black churches. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about how we got all this power in the black churches. All these pastors, big churches and big homes. I've seen it. Trust me. You got it's a church out here. There's a couple of churches out here. I won't name them. I know about 3 of them. One of them not far from where I live, and there's another one further up the road. And they are 2 of the 3 most biggest churches in the entire county. Black churches. They're huge. And yes, it's another name for it. They call it the mega church. These are the biggest black churches in the county. They are mega churches. They hold thousands of members. Okay, I don't know how, but they do. And they got pastors with a powerful presence, so to speak. And yet, with all that power that they got in the churches and all these members they got, we have no real power structure. We have no real political structure. We don't. Politics is a joke. And unless we build on that, in a big way, until we start putting more and more of our kids first, where we can build them and build confidence in them and stop tearing them down. We can build environments where the environments don't, tear them down, but build them up. We're always going to have stress and strife in our communities. We got to start waiting for other people to help us build. We got to start doing it ourselves, man. We got to stop making these freaking excuses. We got to stop tearing our kids down and build them up. And it lies the problem. Because you have previous generations of parents who raised kids, and that's all they do was tear them down. Well, I wasn't shit, you ain't gonna be shit type of mentality. I've seen that happen, even on a personal level. And this is what happens right now. That's what you got this is part of the reason why we continue this cycle of poverty. And I know a lot of these so-called hotep pro-blacks are going to sit there and say, well, it's all on the white man. No, it ain't all on the white man. Some of that shit now is on us, and we making excuses about it in 2018. We're still saying the same thing we were saying 50 years ago. No, you can't say all this shit now. You know, because not all of it applies to the white structure. Not all of it does. I'm not saying that it don't, but not all of it do. Some of it definitely is on us. You know, like somebody said, it's personal responsibility and public, what do they say, public procedures or something to do with that. But personal responsibility is part of it. If you're not going to be personally responsible for your own actions in your own households, instead of waiting for somebody to do it, you know, it's never going to happen for you. I've seen shows, and I just saw a couple of shows where the mothers will tell you, I can't do nothing with that boy. I can't do nothing with that girl. Because you never attempted to. You was too busy partying and bullshit and getting fucked by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then all of a sudden, your kids out of fucking control years later because you was out of control and you never had control of your children in the first damn place. Now you want somebody else to take care of it because you didn't do it. You know? I seen that personal experience with a family member. Not with my family structure, but I'm talking about within the family. You know what I mean. Where they didn't do that with their son. Yet they wanted me to intervene. Some 20 to 30 years later. I said, really? You know, never sat down and had any real conversation with them. Just let them get their way. Then all of a sudden, you want somebody to get involved. You're talking about, could you talk to him? No. You should have been doing it a long time ago. I mean, when you get, and I told somebody, I said, when you get to a certain age, the talking is probably too late. I had somebody try to get me to talk to a 4-year-old guy who still wasn't doing anything. He had been locked up for some time. You know, and I've talked to him a few times. We've talked. But he kind of was like back on that same old bullshit. You know, you could only do but so much talking to a 4-year-old man about getting his act together. You know, and by then it's kind of hard to talk to somebody at that age because you can't really build on it because by the time their life is about halfway over and they're still in their ways. You know, so talking ain't always good for. You can't always talk to everybody about everything because at some point it may be too late. You know, I'm being totally honest. In the case of him, it was too late. But that's another thing. We don't like honesty. We like to be honest about everybody else. We like to go in on everybody else and what they need to be doing. When it comes to us and our own personal responsibility, it's public policy and personal responsibility. That's what it is. Public policy and personal responsibility. But when it comes to our own personal responsibility, we're the last ones who want to hear it. I know people like that. People like, well, you should do that, but if you tell them that, I'm gonna hear it. No, can't tell them anything. And sometimes you're just wasting your breath. You know, like somebody said, you can't save everybody. The only ones that you could ever save are the ones that's willing to listen and willing to make modifications. You know, if you got somebody in there who you're talking to about doing this and doing that, and they just constantly not trying to hear it, you're wasting your time. You know, it was something Iyanla said. Something I can't beg you for your breakthrough or something about your breakthrough. Beg you for you to get your healing, and that's a good point. I'm just that type of person. I mean, I'll tell you about things and tell you, I'll give you some advice about this or that other. You can take it or leave it, But it's up to you individually with a personal responsibility to take care of your own self and your own actions. Just like with Monique, what we talked about the money situation with her, with Netflix. She felt so entitled, because she has a fan base. And she do got a fan base. There's no doubt about that. She got a huge fan base, but she felt it was the fan base responsibility to get her that money from Netflix. I mean, that's pretty damn bold, and that's pretty bold. To sit there and say, "What? Netflix owe me some money. Get Netflix to give me my money. We're gonna protest." Are you serious? Who the fuck gonna waste the time for you to protest and you ain't did nothing? As far as I know, I don't know if anything you've ever done for the communities as a whole. I don't know. I've never heard any real stories that you, other than the prison things that you did, and that was a comedy special that you actually put in yourself that you did about women in prison, all that. That was about the only thing I know that you did. During the Baltimore riots, I didn't hear nothing from you. Nothing. So the only one that did anything up in Baltimore that was about raising any real money was Prince. Got arrested. So that was a year before he died. Yep. Which I just thought about. Damn. That was 2015. He died a year later. Sure did. Monique, didn't hear nothing from her. Not anything. I didn't hear her doing nothing. I mean, I'm not saying that she didn't do anything. I didn't hear anything about her doing anything like what Prince did. Not even on that scale. Nope, nothing. Not even the soup kitchen. Nothing. But we got, bottom line is we got to start taking personal responsibility for our own actions. And that's basically what I'm saying. And in order to do that, you have to evaluate what it is that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be doing. No, the stuff that gets you down versus the stuff that you can do to get you up. That's the first thing that you should evaluate. That's like me. I was running around while I lived in Cleveland. I was running the streets all the way to the time I got in the military, and I almost got involved in a serious altercation. Right around that time, right around the same time, matter of fact. Yeah. And then, matter of fact, I think the day before I went in, I got military. I got drunk as a skunk, and driving. My friend had to drive me home. Sure did. And I was totally towed down. I was surprised I was able to get home. But my thing is, though, for real, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff that could got me in some big trouble. My friend saved my ass. I'll never forget that. And I learned from there. At that point, you can't be out there doing that stuff, man. You want to be on straight and narrow, you got to be on straight and narrow. You got to learn to cut off certain people. And I had to do that too. You got to learn that, to focus on your brand, your personal responsibility. You are your own brand. And you can make it whatever you want to make. You can make it good, or you can make it horrible. Choice is yours, but it is your personal responsibility. And you can't always blame everybody for everything on every situation. You may talk about things that other people did, but ultimately, your personal responsibility lies on you. And what you need to do. You have to overcome it by just doing what you need to do out here. Take care of yourself and take care of your family. And take care of your responsibility. Build your brand is what I'm saying. You are your own brand. All right. Well, hopefully I'll get a chance to talk about more about that this weekend. It's DJ Wolf.